Good morning. Good morning, Benco Dental. How's everybody doing? Good. All right. I'm not usually up this early, so I am going to be in charge of keeping you guys wide awake and getting you ready for a great day. Today, we're going to talk about how a remarkable customer experience can be your best sales and marketing strategy. Now, I want to start with something maybe a little bit controversial, especially for a bunch of salespeople in the room. Competing on price is a loser's game. Just ask this gas station down the street from my house. Every time they lower the price of gas by a penny, the gas station across the street from them does the same thing. And on we go until they're giving away gas for free. Competing on product has also become really, really difficult, as I'm sure the gas station people would attest. But consider a company that's considered one of the most innovative companies in the world, Uber, and they got copied by Lyft. So if we can't compete on price and we can't compete on product, what's left? The answer is customer experience. And the best part about customer experience is that it's delivered by human beings. And the human beings at Benco Dental are unique. No one else has our human beings, which means that we can provide a customer experience that no one else can provide. If you're driving down the street and you see this gas station versus the one that has a sign for 99-cent 2-liter bottles of Pepsi, which one makes you feel better about doing business with them? I would stop at this one. Now, throughout this presentation, I want you to think about two populations. The first is the experience of being a Benco customer. I don't mean what are they buying from us and how much more can I sell to them. What I mean is put yourself in their shoes as if they are receiving your visit. What does it feel like to be a Benco customer? What are the emotions attached to it? And how is that different from our competition? The other population that we can't forget about is what is it like to be a customer of our customer? After all, most of the equipment and the supplies that we sell, this person is either the recipient of or end user of. And so if we think about their experience, we can think about how to have our dentists provide a unique customer experience, which makes their business more profitable, which means they need to buy more stuff from us. Think about both of those populations throughout my presentation, because the examples that I'm going to show you are not from the dental industry, and that is on purpose. I want you to stretch your mind and think about what other companies in other industries do and how we can apply it back to our company. So first, I want to talk about what kind of experiences get shared. Now, I'm a big social media guy, and when we think of social media, we often think of negative experiences, right? People go to social media to complain about something that went wrong. We often forget that a lot of people also will share positive experiences. Do you know what they don't share? It's what my millennial friends call meh. No one shares a so-so experience. I had a perfectly average experience last night at dinner. Let me tell you about it. Nobody does that, right? So we share great experiences and terrible experiences. And what our job here at Benco is to take that dotted line of meh and move that all over to positive so that we have so many experiences that our dentists and their patients have with Benco Dental that they're more willing to talk about us. Not just in social media, but to their friends, their family, and their colleagues. Interestingly enough, about a third of consumers say that when they've had a bad experience, they will share that online by either posting in social media or writing a negative review. But what's unbelievable is nearly half of consumers say the same thing about a positive experience. Let me say that again. People are more willing to share a positive experience than they are to share a negative experience. So why doesn't that happen more often? Well, let me ask you, by a show of hands, how many people remember the last time that a brand treated them so amazingly well they couldn't wait to tell their friends and family about it? I see about 10 hands. Now, by a show of hands, tell me the last time you were disappointed with a company. I see many hands. As consumers, we don't have any positive experiences to share, or very, very few of them, which is why, as a company, when we can provide that positive experience, that alone is surprising to the customer, and they will want to talk about it. As it turns out, half of consumers say that the companies they do business with don't meet their expectations for a good experience. And this room, I would say, was probably higher than 66%, but 2/3 of people say they cannot remember the last time that a brand exceeded their expectations. Now, I don't want you to be drawn to the word consumer here. I want to take a moment to explain that. Yes, this data is on consumers, but please remember that your dentists are consumers in their real life. And whether you like it or not, you are being compared against the experiences that they are having with consumer brands. Alan and I have talked about this a lot, that Amazon's probably the easiest site in the world to deal with. So when somebody comes and shops at our site, what do you think they're comparing it to? And by the way, that's true of every e-commerce site in the world gets compared to Amazon. Likewise, your dentists are comparing the experience of dealing with you to any other experience that they've had as a professional or a consumer. Now, you also might be asking, does this customer experience stuff make me any money? And the answer is absolutely. You're looking at a chart that was put together by a company called Watermark Consulting. They took a look at the Forrester Customer Experience Index, which is like the gold standard for rating companies on customer experience. They looked at stock market returns, not including the last 2 weeks, over an 11-year period of the companies that were at the top of the Forrester Customer Experience list, the leaders, and also the companies that were at the bottom, the laggards. And what you'll see is that the leaders crush the market, the laggards are way behind the market, and probably most importantly, the leaders performed 3 times as well as the laggards. Now, I know Benco's not a public company, but what makes a stock move like that? Profit, revenue, sales. So we can do the same thing by providing a great experience and being at the top of that list. So I've developed a methodology on how to create a great experience in your business. And this applies to Benco as a whole, but I also think it applies to each one of the salespeople in the room who really have their own businesses. Y stands for witty, immersive, shareable, and extraordinary. And we're going to talk about all 4 of these, and here's where I'm going to give you lots of examples. So let's start with witty. Now, when I say witty, I don't mean humorous, because humor can be dangerous. What I find funny, you might find offensive, or vice versa. So I'm not telling you to go out there and be a stand-up comedian. But I am asking you to look at every piece of communication that you have and try to figure out how you can change the words to be a little bit more clever, to get maybe a smile on someone's face, not a wholehearted laugh. Like this guy in Manhattan. I absolutely love this guy. I don't even know what he sells, but I know he's got a personality, I know he's honest, and I want to do business with him. It's a shoe store, by the way, in case you were wondering. When you land in the Louisville, Kentucky airport, you get a sign about distilling great experiences. Not only are they telling you that you're going to have a terrific experience in Louisville, but it's a play on word because, of course, Louisville is known for the bourbon industry. It's clever. It makes you just sort of stop for a minute and notice it. Here's a food cart. Speaking of whiskey, this is a food truck in Atlanta, right? Now, this is a true story. I was at a big conference, and lunch was served in food trucks. You had a choice of like 20 different food trucks. Who doesn't want to go to this food truck? And again, you don't even know what food they serve. It doesn't matter, because you know that this is going to be a fun food truck. This is going to be a company that you want to do business with. Here's a company that is a UK fashion brand, but hey, there might as well be dental supplies in this bag. And they printed out a bag that had a little bit of a mistake on it. Now, most companies would have not noticed the mistake or would have thrown out the bags, but not ASOS. They turned it into a tweet that got them 50,000 likes. Can you admit when you make a mistake? And can you be self-deprecating about it and admit that you're human? because that will create a remarkable connection with your customers. We're all human. We all make mistakes. And it's okay to laugh at ourselves about it. I recently got, any Nebraska people in the room? All right. I recently got this in the mail. It is the official, not at all what you think, Nebraska State Travel Guide. Now, I was originally drawn to the photo at the beginning. I'm not entirely sure what's going on in this photo. I'm sure the Nebraska people can explain it to us later, but the best part, I thought, was at the bottom, that little outline of the state. It says, Nebraska. Honestly, it's not for everyone. Who wants to go to Nebraska now?